You're beautiful. I love you in so many ways.
We love you.
How many ways? I'm really glad. I'm really glad that Chris was talking about that boob pillow earlier. I was the one that sent it to him. My Amazon preferences have been really weird since then. Yeah, so I'm going to start talking. So I think that it's amazing in the past 100 years how far society has come. There are just like some minor inconveniences that are not really a big deal, but you know, I just kind of thought we would have them figured out by now. Like, just like cords on microphones, or like when you have to tell the machine whether your card is debit or credit, and you're just like, come on, you should know. Or just like the pesky problem of gender inequality. But those are silly things. I won't complain about them. I'm gonna complain about them. I remember the first time that I really realized that men could be really cruel to women, and I was in 2nd grade, and that's not funny. I was so young, and I had this teacher. Her name was Mrs. Berger, and all of the boys would call her Mrs. Hot Dog. And I just remember thinking, like, how? Like, how can boys be so cruel? So stupid. No, but I think the first time that I really noticed that there was a gender differentiation was when I was in 3rd grade, and it was recess. And all of the girls were playing on the Fun and Fitness Center, which is what they renamed our playground so we wouldn't enjoy it. And all of the guys were playing soccer, and I wanted to play with them. But Coach Wolf said that I couldn't play with the boys because I might get hurt. And you might be thinking to yourself, this sounds a lot like the plot of She's the Man. And if you're not, you've got some work to do. If you are, let's talk afterwards. And it was just like that plot, except for I was really bad at soccer. I was really bad at it. So I was out there trying to fight sexism while I was just perpetuating it. For every step I ran forward, feminism took 20 steps back. But it's okay, because I heard recently that Coach Wolf had a heart attack. So who's hurt now? Heart disease is a very serious condition. It's the #1 killer of men. Yeah, another time I really remember there being a difference between how boys and girls were treated was 7th grade. So I had just gotten my first kiss from Will Carpenter, which meant that Will Carpenter had rubbed his tongue along my braces, as 7th grade kisses are, and I was so excited about it. I would have told literally any person about it, even that kid that wore sweatpants every day, that smelled like pee, that the teacher had to like take aside and talk about like hygiene to, you know, that kid that you had. And if you're thinking, I don't, what is she talking about? You are that kid. It was you. Ours was Will Carpenter. But just, I remember what was so unjust, besides my thwarted moment of tongue grace glory, was nobody would talk to Mackenzie Sletton anymore. Yet Patrick Brewer was a god. And just as an example, there was this kid named Lamonte. Now, Lamonte, it's a name that I haven't heard before. His name was Lamonte. And he had punched a teacher. but he did not get expelled because the administration was scared of him. I don't think Lamonte had a last name, and I'm pretty sure he was 26 years old. But he gave Patrick Brewer a high five. We had never made eye contact with Lamonte before. We didn't even know he had hands to give a high five. And I just remember being flabbergasted. Mostly because of the injustice, but also because flabbergasted was a 7th grade vocabulary word, and I wanted to try it out. But I guess years later, when I was also a female woman, I was in a checkout line and I noticed the headline of a Cosmo, and it said 14 of the best foods to have sex with. And I just remember thinking, like, that is why so many girls have eating disorders, because the media tells us to put the cucumber in the wrong hole. Men don't have to deal with headlines like that. Men don't have sex with fruit. Men have sex with Mackenzie Sletton. That's her real name, too, Sletton. I didn't make that up. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm friends with her on Facebook. I have to make sure she didn't see this video. But ultimately, I want to know what it's like to be a man, and to just be that sure that you're right, and when you're wrong, everyone still thinks that you're right. And I just want to know what it's like to wake up in the morning and be like, I'm awesome, you're awesome, we're awesome. I want to know. And just as like an example of how ridiculously profound men can think they are, I have this quote from John Lennon that you might have heard, and I'm going to say it again. When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment. I told them that they didn't understand life. Really, John Lennon? Really? Did your 5-year-old self really say that? How cocky of a 5-year-old do you have to be to contradict your college-educated teacher? John Lennon was the Lamonte of 5th graders. I mean, when a boy says that he wants to be happy when he grows up, everyone is fine with that. When I was 5 and I said I wanted to be a monkey when I grew up, nobody took me seriously. I'm pretty sure that when my teacher told me that I couldn't be a monkey, I did not contradict her and her college diploma. I think I probably pooped myself. Not unlike a monkey. But I may not be a monkey today, but at least John Lennon is also not a monkey. Thank you.